themselves, they are not looking for haqq. Why will you waste your time with them?
Well, you are emphasizing on GodLogic. It's despite the fact that
this particular brother has had a conversation with me before, and I tried to explain to him then. Unfortunately, I had to put him down. But because he's a brother, I've allowed him back on the panel, and I was hoping that, we could all engage nicely. And now he's brought up the topic again.
I know.
I don't see the purpose of it. I mean, firstly, he's come up and he's criticizing my topic, which I tried to explain that at this particular point when we're discussing Jesus, there's a division between the Muslims and the Christians. So for me, I thought it was a nice topic where we can kind of, discuss it deeply and get to the bottom of what was Jesus's message and his mission. But he wants me to take this topic off, and he thinks I'm promoting Christianity. Secondly, he keeps saying about, allowing certain people on this panel. I've told him just because I'm a woman, it doesn't mean that I'm not capable of assessing people or engaging with people. I have done this many a time. I'm being fair to everybody. Everybody is welcome on this panel, unless they prove otherwise in terms of their character or they disrespect. But I don't understand what the issue is. I don't appreciate people judging me and saying that I'm not a Muslim and to fear Allah and all of this stuff. And Hamza, if you feel that way about me, then that's fine. That's fine. That's between you and the Creator. Like I said many a times before, if you don't want to come to
I just want to add,
you don't want to sit with particular people, then you don't have to come here. Simple as that. Don't come.
So I'll tell you something that he did that was controversial, that to show you that I love him as a brother or Muslim, but he was hypocrisizing. He was contradicting himself. One time we were discussing here, and he was saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't call him the Father, he called him the Father. We warned him to not say that. He continued to find a way or to reconcile it so he can say it. We did say to him that's not what we think of it. It's not in Islam, nor a scholar have ever said it. But he continued to put everything that he can ever possibly think of to say that it's possible to say that. And we warned him, but he was just...
I just wanted to add, so I think there are Muslims in the comment section that have a different opinion in terms of who you should bring on the panel. But I want him to differentiate between two things. He said that there were things that were said on the panel that were wrong. I think if you feel an information about, especially about Islam, was said that was wrong, you can easily correct anyone. You can come on the panel, pause the discussion, and then correct the Muslims. We are not arrogant here. Anyone can make a mistake. But for you to insist that there is a certain way the panel should be run, I think it's very arrogant of you to think in that way. There are different forms of da'wah. And debate is never going to be a way where you can engage people and give them truth. Debate is just a way to get people to listen to some things, to get people to think. It's never going to be 100%, you're winning every discussion, you're the best in debating. No. Someone can be debating atheism and then he will cook you, as the TikTokers will say. Doesn't mean he is truth, he's telling the truth. So debate, never look at that as a way of conveying truth. It's a way of getting people to listen. And on a day like this where we don't have anyone debating, this is the time where we can point out things. Oh, you said X, it wasn't actually correct. Or you said Y, it wasn't actually correct. For myself, I've learned so many things. Some brothers will say something like, let's go, where is this idea coming from? And I go and do more research. So I think for you to insist that there is only one way of doing da'wah is a very narrow-minded way of looking at things. It's un-Islamic, and you wouldn't have any kind of evidence to insist that your position is the only position that is true. So I don't have a problem with bringing anyone you want to bring. Even David Rude, I don't care. He will bring his audience, he might be rude or whatever, but at least his audience will listen and they will see the difference in mannerisms, and somebody might decide to come back. We never know. So da'wah is not just in the winning debates, but even in the engagement, in the way you engage, in the way you interact, that alone can also be da'wah. So again, please, let's be open, let's be fair-minded, let's not insist that our position is the only position. You are not a prophet, you don't have authority on interpreting the Quran. If you have an advice, provide it. And if someone doesn't feel your position, then let them be. You don't have to come to the panel and be saying such negative things.
Yes,
Yeah.
and nobody is like superior than the other. No man is superior than a woman. No woman is superior than a man. And to think that somebody is better than you, when they don't hold a higher value than you, no matter how rich they are or poor they are, they still have to do the same thing as a poor person would have to do. So even if you're rich, it doesn't make them superior to us neither. I know that's outside of the conversation, but I just thought I'd mention that. And I just want to address a comment. So Joe's the Mexican immigrant. So no, we don't call Allah the Father at all. Not at all. We call him by his 99 names. The most the best of his names is called Allah, which means the God.
Chapter 7, verse 160, which clearly says that we should call him by his 99 names or his beautiful names and not to deviate from that.
Yeah.